Elder Bednar, I do not want to die. I do not want to leave Heather. But if the will of the Lord is to transfer me to the spirit world, then I guess I am good with that. My heart swelled with appreciation and admiration as I witnessed this young couple confront the most demanding of all spiritual struggles, the submissive surrender of their wills to God's will. My faith was strengthened as I witnessed this couple allowing their strong and understandable desires for healing to be swallowed up in the will of the Father. John described his reaction to our conversation and the blessing he received. Elder Bednar shared with us the thought from Elder Maxwell that it is better to not shrink than to survive. Elder Bednar then asked us, I know you have the faith to be healed, but do you have the faith not to be healed? This was a foreign concept to me. Essentially, he was asking if I had the faith to accept God's will if His will were that I not be healed. If the time were approaching for me to enter the spirit world through death, was I prepared to submit and accept? John continued, having the faith not to be healed seemed counterintuitive, but that perspective changed the way my wife and I thought and allowed us to put our trust fully in the Father's plan for us. We learned we needed to gain the faith that the Lord is in charge, whatever the outcome may be, and He will guide us from where we are to where we need to be. As we prayed, our petitions changed from please make me whole to please give me the faith to accept whatever outcome Thou hast planned for me. I was sure that since Elder Bednar was an apostle, he would bless the elements of my body to realign, and I would jump out of the bed and start to dance or do something dramatic like that. But as he blessed me that day, I was amazed that the words he spoke were almost identical to those of my father-in-law, and my mission president. I realized that ultimately it does not matter whose hands are on my head. God's power does not change, and His will is made known to us individually and through His authorized servants. Heather wrote, this day was filled with mixed emotions for me. I was convinced that Elder Bednar would place his hands on John's head and completely heal him of the cancer. I knew that through the power of the priesthood he could be healed, and I wanted so bad for that to happen. After he taught us about the faith to not be healed, I was terrified. Up to that point, I had never had to come to grips with the fact that the Lord's plan might include losing my new husband. My faith was dependent upon the outcomes I wanted. In a manner of speaking, it was one-dimensional. Though terrifying at first, the thought of having the faith not to be healed ultimately freed me from worry. It allowed me to have complete trust that my Heavenly Father knew me better than I knew myself, and He would do what was best for me and John.